He's not losing any more time to the leader.
Yeah, true. The leader has been through that slow zone already. So, and the Ferrari's back round, in fact, to complete 20 laps now. It was a 9:03.9 second lap, another respectable one, although remember the Ferrari's done an 8:49, so it was quite a way off that time, indicating perhaps the 8:49 was, well, not clear of all cautions, but clearer. As now, is that the 12? That's the 12 car coming down pit road at the end of lap 20.
So I reckon that's a lap early, so they must think this is a 27 lap race from here.
Must do.
There's 53 minutes to go, and
I'll gone further.
Yes, could have gone further, but they won't have to fill quite as much, and they won't have to be stationary quite as long. Maybe they've done the same arithmetic as you, Johnny, and thought we're losing too much time here. There will be a driver change.
Surely Jaminet in to take this car to the finish.
Well, if Jaminet started, then he'll finish. Having had the two other drivers in the middle sectors.
We'll see whether that car has Mathieu Jaminet installed into it. 52.5 minutes to go as one of the M235i BMWs comes into pit road as well. So down pit lane it goes, and then turns right onto the pit lane apron. Car 55, the Renault RS01 in 4th position, and that car obviously put quite a bit further down the road because of the drive-through penalty it did as its 2nd stop. So Hamill, Dieter Schmidtmann and the SPX machine, 4th place for car 55, ahead of the Schmittler and Riemer 44 Mercedes AMG. BMW Z4 returning to the race. The 12 car still being worked on. So what can Jaminet do in this final stint to try and claw back some of that time lost to the number 22 Wochenspiegel Team Monschau Ferrari 488?
Long time stationary, isn't it? I know that there's all kinds of regulations about how long you have to be standing still to try and make it a little bit safer to do driver changes, etc. It must be so frustrating.
Mathieu Jaminet has raced, by the way, Peugeot RCZs in the Racing Cup Championship in France. Did the Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup last year and finished in 3rd position in the championship, so knows his Porsches and released right into the path there of a BMW M235i. I think that was a safe release though.
That hard close at the wheel, who took over from Kern, they did the middle 2 stints, so I reckon that is Mathieu Jaminet at the wheel of that red and white Porsche, and he will have been set to stun. Raw meat being placed in front of him, and rude things said about his mother before he got into the car there, just to get him riled up. And he's using all the road and a bit more on his outlap. Lights are flashing as the 12 car is back into it, but has dropped well down with now 50 minutes to go. And we wait now for the last stop of the 22 car.
So the cars that haven't yet made a 3rd stop include the 22 Ferrari that leads, the 28 Audi that is in 2nd position, the 55 Renault, the 44 Mercedes back up to, well, probably 4th place now. So Mercedes AMG, after that spin midway through the 4 hours, recovered and now runs as the 3rd placed SP9 car.
Yeah, and just confirming that it was Jaminet that got into the number 12 car at that last stop, so he will take it to the end from here.
Renault getting a little bit caught there behind one of the BMWs, but slotting its way through. Now behind it is the 101 Gigaspeed Porsche. This is not a battle out on track because they're on different laps. Porsche has completed 19, and the Renault RS01 now on its 21st lap. Just over 3/4 an hour to go of VLN 3.
Now, this might be a help to Chamonix, because I reckon that we've got a clear track.
Okay.
Watch the lap times, Johnny, and particularly that second and third sector. But I reckon now we are clear. The engine noise you can hear behind us is the 101, which is the Gigaspeed Porsche. Janine Hill, John Schaffner, Arno Klassen, and beginning now to head towards the area where we had the issues before, heading into Bergwerk. Dives up the inside of the number 670. That is one of the BMWs, that being the Pixum Team Adrenaline Motorsport for Thomas Henriksen and Oliver Wenzel. Now, just after the third left-hander, heading towards Kesselchen, is where the slow zone was. That's where the 101 is now. And no lift, so it is clear.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So that means that Mathieu Jaminet, once he reaches that part of the track, will be able to zip through, already easily setting the fastest time through Sector 2 compared to the Ferrari, compared to the Audi, number 28, and compared to the 55 Renault. Just waiting to see whether the Mercedes is definitely fourth, and then it's probably the 12 in fifth position, depending on where the 59 Montai Racing Porsche is, the car that led for so many laps when Sven Muller was at the wheel.
That's a minute and 16. The leader has a minute and 16 on the field. I think the 22, all things being equal, he says, when things never are at the Nürburgring, 22 should have this sorted. It's all going to be down to the pace of Jaminet, as to how much he can grab back before the 22 pits. And when does the 22 pit? That's the other thing.
Well, I am guessing it's going to pit. How many stops has it had so far? Two. So surely it's going to pit at the end of 24 and then come in for...
And then it'll be a 3-lap dash to the end, possibly 4 laps.
Yeah.
Okay.
The 12 and the 59 went through the timing loop at the end of Sector 3, absolutely together, by the way. So 12 and 59, that's the 12 trying to get 5th place back from car 59. And I'm sure Mathieu Jaminet has now done that. So the order on the road, 22, 28, 55, 44, then 12, and then 59, I reckon.
Right. And what do we reckon the gap is between the leader and everybody else? The leader's just starting lap 22, going out onto the Nordschleife for the 22nd time, for the 22th time. And what, a couple of minutes? Because that's the danger. I think, you know, the Land car is on a similar strategy, and that is coming to the end of the Dottinger now. And
it's I think it's 2 minutes.
8:11 last time around by the Ferrari. 8:11 on a clear lap. Now, it's done an 8:03. A couple of cars in the race have done an 8:03, the 59 being the other one, the pole-sitting Porsche. We haven't seen that kind of pace from the pole-sitting Porsche all race.
Audi across the line, at least 10 seconds slower through Sector 4 than the Ferrari, and
8:24. 8:24. Scored now in second place, Johnny, at 1 minute 49 seconds behind the leader. So those two are on a similar strategy, and I can't see the Land car having that much extra pace in the last stint in, you know, 3 or 4 laps. So I don't think that's a threat for the lead. 55 should go through next and does. That's the Renault RS01. That was an 8:24 from the Renault as well, and now is 2 minutes 20 behind the leader. Now next, it'll be the 44?
Yes.
The 44 Mercedes. So we're already up over 2 minutes 20 for the 12 car. 12 car fueled to the end, the only one of the lead group that is. So the gap to the leader is crucial now as to whether we've got another grandstand finish. VLN 3, live from the Nürburgring in bright sunshine. Radio Show Limited Network, along with Vega, bringing you sound and vision together. And after 21 laps then, it's the 22 Ferrari that leads by 1 minute and 49 seconds, all bar a tenth, half a tenth actually, from the 55 Renault in third position at 2 minutes 20. Now, across the line in fourth position should be the number 44 Mercedes-Benz. Not off the lead lap, by the way, still on the lead lap. The 44 car goes through. Now, has that pitted? Has the 44 car just pitted, Johnny?
If it's gone in for its third lap, for third pit stop, yes, it has.
Right.
So the 44 making its final stop.
Okay, so that means the 12 will go through now in fourth position and does. Effective fourth position, and it's 3 minutes 52 seconds between the leader and the first car that's made its last pit stop. That's the danger car, not the cars, I think, that are directly behind it, who are on the same strategy.
Yeah.
So how much of that 352 can Jaminet take out of the leader, and how much will the leader need to, how much time will the leader need to spend in the pits? There's your two questions. At RSL_studio, who wins the race? Good battle on for the classes as well. SP7 at the moment is being led by the 88 car, which has made 2 stops, the BMW Z4 GT3. But we expect to see the 62 car come through there, because we think that's made its last stop, and I think the BMW's got a splash before the end. That's the 88 car. I stand to be corrected on that. And in fact, as I say that, it comes into the pits. So more than a splash then for that car. So the 62 will go back into the lead of SP7, and in the meantime will go up to 8th position overall. That's going to be a good finish. And what about these Cup cars as well? Cup 2 class, another Porsche class. But the number 1 Gigaspeed car is going to be somewhere knocking on the door of a top 10 finish here, Johnny. 101 Cup 3 car. It's the other Gigaspeed car in 14th position there in third. And it's the 117 that is in between them, the interloper, if you will. And the 117 is the Team 75 Motorsport, David Hahn and Marek Buchmann.
Trying to work out where the end of the race will fall, and obviously we need to know at what exact point the Ferrari crosses the line at the end of lap 22.
Just been sent a picture of Olaf Mantai in the pits, and I could glean nothing at all from the faces of the staff around Olaf. He's wearing his low downforce beard configuration this weekend, talking to his drivers and his technicians in the pit. Very interesting. Remember, no minimum pit stop time within the last 30 minutes. So if that's the other thing that we've got to take into consideration, Johnny. If the 22 can get inside the last 30 minutes, i.e. do another lap and a bit from where they are at the moment, it will just be a fuel stop for them.
Yes.
But that means they're going to have very old tyres on at the end of the race.
And we know how crucial the new set of Michelin's proved on that out lap and the first few laps at the start of stint 2 for that car. Peugeot 308 TCR from Bonk Motorsport, just heading through the twisty stuff on the Nordschleife. And there are 39 minutes to go.
Too much, isn't it?
Where's the Ferrari then? Somewhere in the 4th sector, I think. No, it's done the 4th sector. It's now on the Dottinger then.
Correct.
And about to come across the line for the 22nd time. We'll need to just keep an eye on the clock as it breaks the B. Not yet into Tiergarten, although 3 touring car type cars are.
Yeah, I think that's battle for position as well there, is it? Because that is the 802. No, take that back. 802 is 3rd place in class and in elegant isolation. Has got a Seat up its tailpipes at the moment.
Right, I reckon 38 minutes and 6 seconds were on the clock as the Ferrari crossed the line for the 22nd time.
Our TV director seems to think that the 802 is leading at the moment. So as it crossed the line, have we got a timing update? Side by side with the 820 Seat. Yeah, that's the battle for 1st and 2nd in TCR. It was right the first time, and in fact it's just changed, Johnny. So the 802 Golf has just been passed by the Seat. So our timing a wee bit behind real life. And going into the hairpin, and the leader was right there as well, just caught up for a moment in that wee battle. And I wonder if the Golf team, the Matilda Golf team, were as confused as I was there, because there didn't seem to be much fighting going on. And now all of a sudden the driver has woken up and starts giving chase to the red, white and black Seat as they're going out onto the Hatzenbach. They're going to be dealing with all kinds of traffic. Tricky little left-hander to get things started on the Hatzenbach.
So at the start of lap 26, projecting into the future here, I reckon there's going to be 4 minutes and 45 seconds still on the clock. So it will be a 27-lap race.
Right.
And therefore, the car that's working to 7 lap stints.
62.
62. No, 62 is doing 9 lap stints.
Oh, yeah.
The 12 car is doing 7 lap stints.
So it will get to the end.
So it can get to the end having made 3 stops.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think it would have been all right, because I think it can probably do an 8. So it would have been all right, but it is effectively only going to do a 7-lap last stint again, having done 7, 7, 6. 7, 7, 6 and 7 is what it will end up doing.
Yes. I think that's right. I'm just a funny feeling whether the first stop was very early, as in a 6-lapper, and then maybe 7 after that. TCR, you said this is a change of class lead.
Correct.
With the Seat going up the inside of the Matilda Golf, and leader right behind there, taking to the dirt to try and not be involved in that TCR fight.
Well, you don't need that, do you, as the leader? That's exactly what you don't want, is a pair of battling TCR cars ahead of you. Nasty moment there.
Very good times coming through for the Ferrari, but even better for the Land Motorsport Audi. And what's the 12 car up to now with Mathieu Jaminet at the wheel?
Well, his outlap was his last lap. That was a 10:47. So
this next one's going to be very, very good. 105 through sector 2 gets him 4 seconds back on the leader. The problem is we're talking minutes now, the margin between 22 and 12. However,
yeah, he's taking a couple of seconds every minute out of the leader.
Yeah.
And you know that it's not enough. Well, it depends how long the 22 car stands still.
Well,
I mean, the pressure.
As we know, he can't make it to the finish on the current amount of fuel in the tank. But as you say, it depends on how long that car is in the pit lane for. That's to say, going wide, and the Golf trying to squeeze through.
At the end or the middle portion of the Hatzenbach, and had to take to the dirt. That's the battle for TCR 1st and 2nd. What a great scrap that's been all race.
tremendous. And we've had Opel Astras out front, we've had Golfs out front, we've now got a Seat Sport leading the way, and the Honda has been in the mix as far as standing in the top 3 at times. So 4 major manufacturers regularly in the top 5 in TCR. Down the hill towards Brightshy goes the 802 Golf, then first place in TCR. At least that was the case at the start of the lap. It's now slipped to second, as we know, with the Seat Leon, Seat Sport Leon TCR of Gentgen and Villert now running ahead of the Golf. What about in Cup 5, which has been one of the most difficult battles to predict? It's the 675 car of Griesner.
Oh, that's just changed.
Lead the way in Cup 5.
Yeah, because it was the 6 last time I looked. 691, 675, 666 were the top 3, but the pit stops for the end of the race might just be shaking that up a little bit there, Johnny.
Yes. See where we are as far as stops are concerned for the 675. It's made 2, whereas the next car down has made, only made 2 as well. The 666 Jaeger and Adams car might well be the lead. The winner's going to come from that second batch of cars, though. 62, which is not quite out front in SP7
yet.
It's been having a wonderful fight with 88. I don't know whether they've ever actually seen each other in the race.
21 seconds between them at the moment, just 21 seconds to go.
They're well aware of each other's existence, but can't find each other on the track, and all of the work, the overtaking, has been done via the pit lane. The 88 car, whenever you and I have caught a glimpse of it around the track, always looks very menacing and like it means business. The Mies, Scheerbarth and Jens Cup 2 Porsche heading through the Mercedes arena.
It's the one car in 7th position then, and leading Cup 2. It's one of the other Gigaspeed cars, using mobile phone technology to pass back the onboard pictures and the data on the drivers. 7th position overall for a Cup car, mate. Take that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's, you know, only had 2 stops as well so far. That TCR battle, by the way, is intriguing, because aside from the Golf and the Seat, which are separated by nothing at all, 3rd place is the 803 Audi RS3 LMS, and that is only, let me see, about 10 seconds, 14 seconds behind 2nd place. And closing in, by my reckoning, ever so slightly, but it only takes a little fumble, doesn't it, through traffic, and that will disappear. Now, is that the Miltech Golf with damage there?
It's one of the GT86s.
Oh, really? Right. I just saw Miltech and immediately thought Golf.
Let's have a look again.
Oh, good spot. It is one of the GT86s.
Trailing rear right bodywork, bit of the bumper just has popped out after contact, I'm guessing. Probably with another car.
GT86 class here, very well subscribed, down to the fact that they're the weapon of choice for people coming in to do their laps to get their license.
And GT86 class is Cup 4.
Correct.
But there are GT86s also in V3 and SP3. It's the 533 car that we're looking for.
That's Dale Lomas and Lucien Gavris.
And that is a Cup 4 car.
It is indeed. The reason that those cars, I think, are in different classes is I think they've been, some of them have been somewhat breathed on, whereas the more standard cars are the ones that have the horsepower rating that allows you to do your Nordschleifer driving permit, or the NDP. And everybody has to get that, by the way. Lewis Hamilton could pop over and say he wanted to do a race, he'd still have to do it. Johnny O'Connell, Le Mans class winner, champion in the States, came to drive a Clio a few years ago and had to do his requisite number of laps to get him his permit.
Ferrari back across the line, 29 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock as that Ferrari completed 23 laps.
So any time now they can come in and have a pit stop that takes the time that the pit stop takes.
Yes.
Because they're inside the last half an hour.
That's a very good point. And
that's significant.
There are, including this lap, the Ferrari's just started, and it stayed out, by the way. Including this lap, there are 4 to go, I reckon.
However, the gap to the 12 car, which will not stop again, is down under 2 minutes. So Jaminet is absolutely on it.
Yeah.
An 8:15 last time around against an 8:22. Let's see, has he come across the line? Yes, no, he hasn't. Let's see when he comes across the line this time around. That might not be, actually, that might not be a true reflection. So
that is it's 2 minutes to actually the 28 car, I think, isn't it? Because nobody's yet started, apart from the race leader. We haven't seen anybody else complete lap 23.
Yes, correct.
So that's
correct. I see what you're saying. Kind of in getting excited about timing screen, shocker. Yes.
It's going to be 2 minutes plus the difference between first and second, isn't it? Which is a further 1:50 back to the 28 car.
So that is 3 minutes still. 3 minutes.
It's over 3 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah, 3 minutes and 10. 3 minutes 15. And 15. But how long will that Ferrari have to stand still? And it's not necessarily about just getting past. What will they be able to do lap times wise for the last 2 or 3 laps, Johnny? On, against a car that's charging. No tyre warmers allowed, so the heat that's in the tyres dissipates as soon as you pull into the pit lane. On an intervention vehicle out on the Dottie Gahur, just being covered at the moment by white waving flags. Doesn't mean last lap here for you guys in the States. It means a circuit vehicle or a slow moving vehicle. Here comes the bright red Porsche across the line.
That was the car racing with a Ferrari 458.
Oh, it looked like it was going to come into the pit lane and then stayed out.
Interesting.
All the way over to the right-hand side, though.
So car 138 is the Porsche we're concentrating on. The Ferrari stopped for a third time.
This is the SP7 leaders.
588, rather.
Yeah, this is H4 leader in 11th position.
Okay. So what's happened to 138, which was the Porsche GT3 Cup car that the Ferrari...
That's leading SP8, and that's in 14th position, waiting for that car to cross the line. And the second SP8 car...
might be the Ferrari that's already stopped.
Yeah.
So again, that promises to be a close finish, because we've got Porsche that stopped twice versus a Ferrari that stopped 3 times. It's down in 6th position, actually, in SP8. Ferrari has now done its out lap, so we'll see how that gets on.
Right, let me go through some issues. Accident for the 549 BMW 318IS and the 684 BMW M235i. And technical defects, that's the only descriptor we have for the 390 Stanco Rothenberger Renault Clio Endurance and the Kroll and Eggyman BMW. We saw that car stopped the E46 CSL on the Grand Prix circuit a while ago. It's the 211 car, and now that car is being shown us with a technical defect.
Right, so that wasn't crash damage for the Hopper Racing BMW then. It looks like it's come off the track, ground to a halt, possibly mechanical issue, electrical issue.
Technical defect, correct. More updates for you. The 960 Porsche Cayman has had an accident with, I think, the 682. Oh dear.
Right, we get a good representation now of the distance between the 22 Ferrari and the 12 Porsche. It's 3 minutes and 42 seconds.
Right.
Ferrari's going to be stopped in the pit lane for a little while, but not to that extent.
No.
And are we going to see? I think we must see the Ferrari in at the end of this lap, because it will have done another 8-lap stint, taking it up to 24 laps, and then they're going to do a splash. So bear in mind, the Ferrari's going to have to be stopped for the maximum amount of time. It's doing an 8-lap stint here.
The leader of class Cup 3, the GT4 Club Sport, has had an accident with the 682 M235 Racing Cup car, and therefore the 979 Porsche Cayman has gone into the class lead. So I mean, that was literally a minute ago that came through. 20 minutes to go, and the leader of the class, the GT4 Club Sport Porsche 960 car, in an accident that has taken it out of the class lead. And that car, the MSC ADAC ACAS car, Teichmann Racing, Moritz Gusenbauer and Daniel Burr. That is cruel, cruel luck, Johnny.
Horrible for it to happen at any point in a 4-hour race, but when you're into the final half an hour, and you've invested so much time and effort into one of these endurance races, that's just, as you say, terrible and bitter luck.
If we don't think that the 12 car can overhaul the leader, will it get by either the 55 and get on the podium, or better still the 28 and be second place on the podium? Because both of those cars still have to stop.
Correct. And yet the 3 cars ahead of it have to come in, whereas the 12 has already done its 3rd stop. So we're expecting 22, 28, 55 all in at the end of this lap, and then it's a question of how close the 12 can get to the podium and how close it can get to second position.
The 62 SP7 leader again, or having regained the lead after the 88 stop, is that 62 car, but I'm afraid its lap times just aren't good enough. Its best time in 8:21.4, 8:48. That's made its last stop, and it will possibly make up some time with the cars ahead that have to stop, but unfortunately the cars directly ahead of it are all quicker than it and have made their last stop, so they haven't quite marshalled their resources well enough to get the quick driver in at the end, which is clearly what's happened over at the 12 Manthey Racing car, the number 4. We should mention, of course, shouldn't we, that the 12 is a Pro-Am car, so there is a separate podium for Pro-Am. So the 12 and the 22, both Pro-Ams. The Monteplas by Land Motorsport 28 Audi R8 is a full Pro car, and the Valkenhorst 36 BMW is a full Pro car as well.
Ferrari's in.
Right.
The lead of the race.
Right, this is it. This is a crucial stint.
So, end of 24 laps for the Wochenspiegel Team Manschau Ferrari, and the team do not want to slip up here.
Do we think 3 laps after this then?
Well, it goes on to its 25th lap now, doesn't it? Effectively.
Yes. So it started its 25th.
27. Yes. So from.
Oh, driver change. Driver change. Wasn't expecting that for 3 laps sprint. I don't see tyres, Johnny.
They're off.
I don't see tyres.
I saw tyres being rolled around, but I don't think they can.
Oh yes, they are. They are
doing tyres.
Well, this is interesting. They must feel under pressure, Johnny, to think they need a new set of Michelins.
The rear right was being done as the driver was being changed. They've now gone to the front left and changed that. All 4, I'm sure, done on this Wochenspiegel Team Manschau Ferrari. Meanwhile, waiting about a minute further back now for the 28 car to come.
Well, I think they'll pit as well.
They have to, I think. I don't think they can go any further because that car's done 8 lap stints too.
On the Dottinger Höhe now, coming down into the dip before the Tiergarten, the Land Audi. Do you know what this is? It might be. It's not going to be door to door at all because the Ferrari is down and away. Yeah. That was actually a very, very good stop by them, and they did have time to do tyres because the fuel was going in at the same time.
Yeah, so fuel going in, driver being changed, and they were able to do the tyres as well. So all of those 3 things can overlap each other. And the Ferrari leaving with this comfortable margin then, having...
No problems now, that car wins.
Correct, yeah, easily.
So now the question is, the Land car in second and the 55 Extreme GP car, sorry, the 55 RS01 Renault. I'm so used to putting those together.
It's gone, I think, already, the Lance Motorsport. Oh, no, here it is.
No, it's just coming into its pit box now.
Beg your pardon. So that Audi...
No driver change,
no.
And I don't think they're going to even take tyres. I think this is fuel only.
Pressure's being checked, but they're obviously happy with the durability of those Dunlop tyres.
Yeah, well, it's a tyre battle, that. It's Dunlop versus Michelin at the front of the field.
Yeah.
Leader on Michelin. Dunlop took the big one this year with Land. 24-hour race. The pistol grip into the filler. So they're just waiting for the fuel to go in. They'll know how much they want to put in to get them the 3 laps to the end. The Land car named Lindaloo, ready to go. In comes the RS1. Right in front of it. Last stop for that car as well. Now, here's the question, Johnny. Still waiting for those 2 cars to be fueled. Where's the 12? Where is Manthey? Are they going to claw back into 2nd position?
12 is on the Dottinger now, having gained a load of time through the 4th sector. 3 minutes 9 compared to the 3:14 that the 28 car did and the 3:21 that the Renault did. So both of these, I reckon, under threat here for a podium position, because the 12 car hunting them down. Mathieu Jaminet, as we said, had been well and truly wound up prior to his stint. Need to see where the 12 car is now and whether it's at Tiergarten already.
I think he's gone through. I think he's just gone through. I think if we look onto the Grand Prix circuit now, he's gone through. And the Ferrari, the Renault's down before the Land Motorsport car. So this is Land Motorsport again, Johnny, with problems in the pits. Now, it played into their hands in the 24 hours, a little bit of confusion and some problems with the fuel pump. Have they got a fuel pump problem again?
The lights going on and off and on and off. I wonder whether it's actually restarting the car is the issue.
Stuck in gear. They were rocking it backwards and forwards.
So having to bump start it. Maybe there's the 12 car, then up to 2nd position. Mathieu Jaminet, as we said, with this heroic first part of the stint. He started the race with the 12 guys as well. Finally, the Land Motorsport Audi is underway, but it's slipped to 4th position now, behind the 22, behind the 55 and the 12.
I think it's slipped to 5th, actually, because I reckon the 59 Porsche's gone through as well, Johnny.
Not sure about that. Still.
No, they've come in the pits. The 59 Porsche's come in the pits. It was due, so the 59 cars in the pits. They will take their last pit stop. Wow, what a turnaround for Land. A gap between 1st and 3rd position. Check that. 1st and 2nd position, 3:32. With 16 minutes to go. So 2 laps, potentially.
And the other thing to keep our eyes on is the battle in SP7, which has been going the way of 88 for much of the race, but 62 can go further on the fuel mileage, or chooses to go further on the fuel mileage, and 62 is now ahead. I think they can do this race on 2 stops.
If the 62 doesn't have to stop again, that is a marvellous piece of tactical driving and tactical work from the pit lane, and they must have been on fuel save all the way through the race. There's no point with, particularly not when your lap is 9 minutes or 8 minutes 40.
It's going to be a 27 lap race, and they've been doing 9 lap stints, so you can do it with only 2 stops when you look at it like that. So in another 2 seconds there will be exactly 15 minutes to go, and we're expecting the race leader back across the line. Well, that was actually a bit of a slower lap, so it's even more likely to be a 27 lap race now, because I was judging it on 8-minute 20s, 8-minute 30s, but it did an 8:41 last time.
So basically we've got a basically we've got a slow zone just before Fluidplatz, with the car being removed from driver's right, so just coming through the Kinnebacher Hohe.
Porsche number 12 did a decent first sector. It was then slow through sector 2, which will tie in with that caution on the Hansen back.
Sorry, Johnny. Sven Muller has jumped 59 to take that car to the end. Right, I think that they, I'm afraid, have lost their opportunity of a overall podium. In fact, they've lost their opportunity of a SP9 podium, I think, as well. So, the way I think it stands at the moment, Johnny, and correct me if I'm wrong, 22 Ferrari leads.
Yep.
By a very hard charging in from a very hard charging in second place, Mathieu Jaminet in the 12 car in second. From the 55, Renault in third. From the Land car in fourth position, and fifth is 59.
Yeah, that's right. The 44 car just going through now. I'm just wondering whether no, the 44 hasn't got ahead of the 59. That Mercedes AMG. But leading up to the second batch of pit stops, Mercedes was up as high as fourth position. But now that everything is balancing out, it's re-emerged in sixth place and unlikely to get any higher than that. BMW Z4 is in seventh. Is breaking the beam at the end of sector 1. And then it is the SP7 battle with 62 back out front. Good to the finish. And that 62 car looking strong to beat not only the other SP7s in this class, but also the rest of the Cup 2s as well. Both are Porsche Cup classes.
Georg Weiss in the 22 car taking it to the end, and they reckon three laps when he left. Schmidt has got into the Audi number 28, but that, and I've got no further detail from the pit stop report other than it didn't want to start, is basically what it says.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure whether that's the same chassis that ran at the 24 hours, but of course that had a drama, didn't it, on the Grand Prix lap, where it just decided to shut down on them.
Good point.
And it had to tuck into the pit lane via the back door at the end of the Grand Prix track. They did a quick recycling mechanism on it, turned the electrics off and back on again, and had to send it. But the lap that it had tried to start wasn't counted, and that's when they decided to throw wet weather tyres onto it, which eventually won the race. But
even that was a mistake,
yeah,
because the Dunlop technician said Indus, and the team, because they hadn't worked with them before, grabbed the wrong tyres.
That's right. So they put wets on, which they thought was the wrong decision, and you know, heads in hands even more now, because they'd thrown what was a really good lead away. Little did they know that wet tyres was absolutely the order of the day on that super wet bit of track into Adenauer Forest.
Wet tyres not required today, as Georg Weiss comes down with 10.5 minutes to go to complete what will be his 25th lap.
Yeah, with actually only 10 minutes and probably 30 seconds on the clock.
Can he slow down enough to end this at the end of this lap and not have to do one more? It's a dangerous game, of course.
It is. Well, that was it's 10:34 because it was an out lap.
Yeah.
This time around, it needs to be a 10-minute lap. And that's the danger, is because, well, what's the gap between 22 and 12 now? It was a couple of minutes, wasn't it?
The question now for me is, how quick is Jaminet going to go?
Yeah.
It is some ways off finishing this lap.
Would you prefer to do 2 9-minute laps? So don't take any risks at all. They're fine for fuel.
Every time you go out on the Notch Life, you're taking a risk. I think if you can end up one lap early, you end up 1 lap early. I'd be saying to them, how close is he all the way around?
Yeah.
And if necessary, get to the Tear Garden and pull over to the right-hand side and wait for the clock to expire. It's dangerous.
Well,
you could do it. Here's the this is the second place car coming into view now, Johnny, on the Dodiger Hohe.
Yes.
and it's a long way back. It's going to be a couple of minutes and more.
It's 2 sectors, basically. It's the whole of the 5th sector, which is the Nottingham Straight, and then the full Grand Prix track as well. So as
Chamonix really pushing, you can almost feel him leaning forward in his straps and urging the car forward down the Nottingham. Oh, comes through the tear card and leaves nothing on the table in terms of speed, grazing the Armco on driver's left before he turns into the final portion of it. Here he comes to complete his 25th lap, and we'll get an idea of the time as he crosses the line, which he does now, and it's 2 minutes and 3 seconds.
Yeah, 2 minutes and 3 seconds.
That was at 9:06. That wasn't quick enough. He got caught somewhere. That's cost him a chance of going for the lead here.
Well, he was slowed in sector 2 because of that caution.
Oh, of course, of course.
Normally that would take you just over a minute. It took him 1:50.
Well, Johnny, if it's a 9:06, if it's a 9:06 lap for the fastest man on the track, you know, then making that into a 10:06 or a 10:30, he's got the time to do that. And Georg at the head of the field, he's got.
Georg Weiss at the wheel of the Ferrari number 22, the Wochenspiegel Team Manschau car, could theoretically make sure the end of the race comes at the end of lap 26. He just needs to extend his best lap, which is an 8:03. Never going to get anywhere close to that with a caution out on track, but he's got 2 minutes in hand here, so I buy what you're saying, John. He could afford to back off to the tune of something like 90 seconds.
Well, he's going to have to back off anyway for that code 60.
He's already done that. He's already gone through sector 2 and he's lost half a minute.
Right. Third place is the 55. Yeah, 55's gone through. That is the Renault RS01, and it's been a costly final stop for Land Motorsport, who have, I'm afraid, lost their overall podium position. They're still going to be third in SP9, but they've lost something like 30 seconds to the Renault, and way more than that to everyone else. Remember, the Renault came in behind them by a good 10 or 12 seconds, maybe more.
Because the Renault's had a stop-go penalty, didn't
they? Oh, that's cost them. That has cost them.
Effectively, the Audi has also served as stop-go.
Yes, if you look at it that way.
If you look at the time that it's lost comparably, to when you compare the two amount of times lost. The 101 of the Porsche, which might be the other Porsche in the SP8 class, just heading across the line. 588 is also in a similar